I watch YouTube a lot, more so than most. And even though I'm a YouTuber, I have my favorite YouTube personalities. And today we're going to go over some people who I watch whenever I'm not making YouTube videos. I want to say that this is in no particular order, as I watch all of these individuals whenever they put anything out. I see, I go and watch. And to be noted, there are also others whom I watch. I just wanted to pick out these standouts, these people who I think you should be watching right now. So let's get started. Lee McCoy of Drum Doms. Drum Doms is a guy, if I were a drinker, I'd have a beer with. He embodies the spirit of an everyday horror fan. And I would consider him an industry leader, as he's always up to date on all things horror. And he possesses this sort of 80s throwback vibe that is a cherished niche within our community. And the guy knows his stuff. And if you were to look at him, he sort of embodies this sort of Joe Bob Briggs personality, almost like he could be in a movie himself. In fact, he is in a movie. And if you aren't subscribed to his channel, then you are doing yourself a disservice. He's definitely one of those dudes you just have to get to know. My boy Chris Parker of 3C Films. If you need to know anything about the latest movie, trust me, Chris knows it. Chris seems to know everything about these movies years, months before they come out. I mean, this guy has the uncanny ability to know everything about almost every movie before you even see it. I consider him the Adam Schefter of movies, the Todd McShay of cinema news, the Ian Rappaport, the Mel Kiper Jr. of all things movie related. And if you ever see me post any sort of movie news on my socials, then there's a great chance that I got it from Chris. Up next is another Chris Notorali. And Chris, if I'm saying your name wrong, please forgive me. But his channel is Blinky500. Genius isn't a word to describe Chris. This guy is a pure storyteller. You can give him any sort of information and he can create a concept out of it. And while he's best known for his Freddy Krueger prequels, this guy has created a multitude of projects. I mean, I saw this guy do Superman right. And if you know anything about Superman, it is hard to get him right, but very easy to screw him up. Chris nails Superman, and he does it in such a unique manner, but also true to the character himself. This guy is a master storyteller. And I gotta stop and say this. You have to go and watch his Krueger prequels. And no, I am not blowing smoke here. This guy did to Freddy what Smallville did to the Superman mythos. He expanded on a mythos with absolute perfection. And number 2 on this list is Andy the Maniacal Cinephile. His YouTube channel is called Stitch Together Pictures. Andy is the epitome of a horror host. Yes, he has that it factor. Andy is, and I stand by this, he is the crypt keeper of our era. He has comedic timing, sinister dialogue, and he has one unique character wrapped up into one. Trust me, if you watch it, you'll understand what I mean. But the cool thing about Andy is no matter which movie he chooses to review, that's irrelevant. Trust me, that is the last thing you will really want to know about is the movie. He sort of got this Joe Bob Briggs thing going on where you don't really care about the movie. You're there for the presentation of the horror host himself. And Andy is a guy I can see doing television right now. But the cool thing about it, we don't have to pay him to be on TV. We can watch him for free on YouTube right now. And I will stand by this, and I could get a little flack from people, but Andy is the greatest horror host living today. And this extends beyond YouTube. And yes, I said it and I stand by it. Prove me wrong. I'll wait. No, seriously, I'll wait. And number 1 on this list, and remember, as I said, these are in no particular order, but I have to save this guy here because this is sort of emotional. Mark Bishop. He's the host of Minty Comedic Arts. Minty is my dude. I remember having a toothache and the flu. And yes, that sounds like a good time, right? And the only consolation, the only relief medium was watching Minty throughout this entire ordeal. I mean, I got immersed in his content. I mean, I could even hate the movie, but Minty had a way of unearthing the movie and breaking it down in a way to make everything interesting. He always had these things that you should know and you should learn from him. This guy is so meta. He does extensive research on the movie and breaks it down like no other. Minty reminds me of John Madden. And I once heard John Madden give a Hall of Fame speech on what the bus say to one another when no one else is in the room. I mean, John Madden was literally making up something that never exists or never could happen, and you still wanted to hear more. That, my friends, is Minty. He has that ability to tell a story and you don't really care about what, you just want to hear Minty. While I haven't heard and watched Minty while I was down and sick, well, that's just a memory I can't shake, and I'm really grateful for it. And my goal here was to highlight some people that I admire and that helped get me through the day. And who knows, maybe one day I'll have that it factor. Until then, I'll just keep trying.